The Krill delegation had made their terms clear. Humanity would send representatives to the neutral station, but they must come unarmed and without aggression. In return, the Krill would bring their apex, a creature from their homeworld that embodied their species' evolutionary pinnacle. It was meant to be a gesture of vulnerability, they claimed, a way to establish mutual understanding between predator species. Captain Evan. Chen read the transmission 3 times before laughing so hard his coffee went cold. They want to bring their boogeyman to scare us into compliance, he told his second-in-command over the comm. They think showing us their version of dangerous will make us appreciate their mercy and not wiping us out. The Krill had been testing humanity's borders for 6 months now, probing, posturing, occasionally vaporizing an unmanned satellite to prove their superiority. Earth's diplomats were desperate for any opening, any chance to avoid full-scale war with a species that had 3 times humanity's numbers and controlled 7 systems to Earth's 1. Evan was not a diplomat. He was a soldier who'd been press-ganged into wearing dress blues because he'd survived first contact with the Krill and could therefore be trusted not to start an interstellar incident, probably. So what's our play? He asked Admiral Zhang during the briefing. Zhang smiled, a rare expression from the woman. We're going to play their game, but with a human twist. That's how Evan found himself standing in the docking bay 3 days later, watching a transport shuttle settle onto the deck with unusual care. The rear hatch opened and Dr. Ravi Sharma emerged first, his weathered face creased with concern. Behind him, 2 massive crates were being carefully unloaded by a specialized crew wearing heavy gloves and carrying neural dampeners. You brought them, Evan said, not quite believing it even as he saw the manifest codes. Meet our ambassadors, Ravi replied, patting one crate fondly. This is Asha, a Bengal tigress, approximately 400 kilograms of muscle, claw, and millions of years of evolutionary perfection. And this, he moved to the smaller crate, is her cub, Ravi. Yes, named after me. I've been his primary caretaker since birth, Evan stared. We're bringing a tiger and her baby to peace talks. The Krill want to see Earth's apex predator, Ravi said simply. They don't understand that humanity's strength isn't our teeth or our claws. It's that we befriended the creatures that should have eaten us. We turned wolves into dogs. We made allies of the beings that once hunted us. He glanced at the crates where low rumbling sounds emanated. And sometimes we protect the predators from extinction, even when they could kill us. The neutral station was a spinning wheel of gray metal, constructed by a third species that profited from mediation. The main chamber was vast, with atmosphere processors humming to accommodate both oxygen-breathing humans and the sulfur-tinged air the Krill preferred. A shimmering barrier divided the room. The Krill delegation entered first. They were tall, their exoskeletons gleaming black and crimson with too many joints in their limbs and eyes that reflected light like polished obsidian. Between them walked their apex, the Scraith, a creature that stood 3 meters tall with serrated mandibles and arms that ended in bone scythes. It hissed and clicked, its body language radiating controlled violence. The Krill commander Thexal gestured toward the creature with evident pride. Behold the Scraith. On our world, these were the undisputed killers. Our ancestors learned to fear them, to hide from them until we evolved enough to hunt them back. Now we keep the last specimens as reminders of what we conquered. Evan noticed how the Scraith was collared, how its movements were sluggish. Drugged, probably. A trophy, not a partner. Impressive, Evan said flatly. Then he nodded to Ravi. The crates opened. Asha emerged first, a river of orange and black fur flowing across the deck. She was magnificent. Every movement controlled power, her amber eyes scanning the room with predatory intelligence. The cub tumbled out after her, playful and gangly, batting at his mother's tail. The Krill recoiled. Not from fear, they were too proud for that, but from confusion. The Scraith's drugged eyes fixed on the tigers, some ancient recognition firing in its primitive brain. This is Asha, Ravi said, kneeling beside the tigress. She pressed her massive head against his shoulder and he scratched behind her ear. She's one of approximately 3,000 Bengal tigers left in Earth's wild. Her species has been humanity's neighbor, our competitor, our nightmare, and our symbol for thousands of years. He scooped up the cub, who immediately began chewing on his sleeve. And this is young Ravi. He was born in captivity 3 months ago. His mother was injured by poachers, humans who kill for profit. We saved her. Now we're trying to save her entire species. Thexel's mandibles clicked in confusion. You protect them? The creatures that hunt you? They don't hunt us anymore, Evan interjected. Not because we exterminated them, but because we learned to coexist. We built reserves, passed laws, changed our behavior. He stepped closer to the barrier. Your Scraith is a prisoner, a reminder of your dominance. Our tigers are a reminder of our responsibility. Asha chose that moment to yawn, displaying teeth that could crush bone. Then she flopped onto her side, allowing the cub to pounce on her tail. Ravi laughed, the sound echoing in the tense chamber. You see, Ravi continued, humanity's greatest strength isn't that we can kill. Any species can destroy. Our strength is that we can choose not to. We can look at a creature with the power to end us and decide it deserves to exist. We can make room in our world for beings that don't serve us, don't obey us, and might even pose a danger to us. The cub escaped Asha's playful swat and bounded toward Evan, who caught him with practiced ease. The small tiger mewled and Evan held him gently, supporting his weight. So here's Earth's message, Evan said, meeting Thexal's alien gaze. We don't need to prove we're apex predators. We proved that by befriending them, protecting them, ensuring they survive even as we reach for the stars. He paused. The question is, do the krill want a war with a species that values life this much? Because we'll fight if we must. But we'd rather teach you what we learned from the tigers. Thexal was silent for a long moment. Behind him, the Scraith swayed, its eyes never leaving the tigers, perhaps sensing something it had lost long ago. What did you learn? Thexal finally asked, voice quiet. Ravi smiled, watching Asha groom her cub. That being strong enough to destroy something means you're strong enough to protect it instead. And that choice, that's what makes you truly apex. The peace talks lasted 6 hours. Humanity and the krill wouldn't become friends overnight, but when the session ended and the delegations prepared to depart, Evan noticed Thexal watching Asha and her cub for a long time. 3 months later, Earth received a message. The krill were establishing their first conservation sanctuary. The last of the Scraith would be protected not as prisoners but as neighbors. Ravi named it the Asha Protocol.